Hate 'em or hate 'em, everybody. That's right. Litches. Litches. That's right, everybody. Litches. One of the least looked forward to creatures for a player to have to deal with. These guys are not fun. Hard to kill. Hard to keep killed. And then also can get worse becoming demi-liches. They are bad. So I bought a box of them. This box was about under £5. Now that is amazing value for two really good detailed minis. We're going to get them out of the box and have a look at them in a minute under the old magnifier. And yeah, they're amazing value, and these are from Happy Piranha in Truro. These are the Pathfinder Battles minis, so strange like. And these are also the first minis that I've ever had pre-based. And on one of the Lich's hands, can you see here, it has a spell effect, which is see-through acrylic. And I've never painted anything like that before, and I've never painted anything pre-based. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Shall we have a look? Yeah, let's have a look. Right, minis. Got a wizard I'm painting in the background. Ignore him. He's not in this video. Go away. So, packets. You've probably come across packets before in your previous existences. These are things that keep stuff inside. And inside here are our liches. We have two bases. This one appears to be a female lich, and this one appears to be male. He also appears to be wearing a kind of magic... what's the name of this hat? I'll put it in a second. So, exactly what you don't want to happen. But the back is quite good. It gives you a couple of ideas of paint schemes. Old, dusty, dry, crusty dudes. That's what we're going for. Hopefully I'm going to paint them a bit like that. Maybe. I don't know. I had some idea for like greyer hair from this one, with like a purpley, rinsey kind of thing going on. So let's pop this bad boy open. You know when packets go like this, there is an insane fury that rises inside my body. There we go. So out they come. Here are our two bases. Oh, they are very thin. They're quite strong though. They're not flexy. They look like they might bend and flex, but not like flexing on me or whatever. So here we are. This is our female lich. Let me see if I can adjust that light a bit better. There we go, so we can get some shadow on her. Yeah, so she's carrying a morning star. Nice details on the hair. The face is good also. We've got some patterning up on inside that cloak there. And then we've got these two sort of Grim Reaper-esque scythes on the side. Got some little pouches to do. Yeah, really good. In this colour and this angle, Weeping Angel, anybody? Yeah, very Weeping Angel. Right, and now the boy. Come on, boy. Let's get him in focus. Come on. Look at this boy. So that's his spell focusy hand. And then the rest of the boy is lots of flowy, twisty robes. Tattered and ruined. They feel like they're going to take to paint really, really well. I can feel that pre-basing is like really grippy. Yeah. We're going to go for the girl or the boy first. What do we think? Girl lich, boy lich, girl lich, boy lich. I'm going to go with the girl because the boy is the one I'm going to probably use in the campaign. So if I mess up on this one, or I don't understand how the paint's going to work on them, it's not so important. I can recover and then learn better on this one. So you, Mr. Boy, Mr. Boy, that's his name, Mr. Boy the Litch. Go up the back there with your base. This one's base up there. Now we need a stand. Bit of blue tack. Glue this lady on. Now these are my amazing painter handles. I have repurposed. These are doorknobs, wooden doorknobs. I mean, some really rocks a little bit, so I suppose I could sand off these bottoms, but I don't really need to do that. So what we're going to do is see about getting a base coat of paint on here and see how that works. They're pre-primed. Suppose we're going to go with a black. Now the black I am going to use is Abaddon black. This is a Citadel mini paint. Didn't record for some reason. Here we go. So bit of black onto the palette. Dab of water it down a bit, and then we're applying to the back of the base here, and it sticks very well. And yeah, we're getting good coverage. So I'm going to just finish doing that, and yeah, we'll let it dry and maybe then knock a bit of a dry brush on them. So yeah, let's do that. There we are. That's our base coat on our Litch. Gone on very easily. I'm not sure if the undercoat actually helped. It actually felt quite sticky, and I had to water down the black very much so that we didn't lose any details as it went on. So we're just going to let Litchy dry. Litch. Next thing I'm going to do is get a dry brush. So I've got a nice big soft squishy brush. It's a new brush actually. Second hand charity shop find. Load up lots of paint and then brush a lot of paint off. Maybe a bit on this fabric. So there is very little paint on there. Okay, let's see what we can pick out with this nice light dry brush here. Oh, there's still a bit too much paint on there. Let's go nice and lightly. Barely looks like you're putting anything on, and then out of it slowly will emerge all those lovely little details. Like the knots in the wood, the weft of the hair. Trying to keep going top to bottom as well. You'll see the edge of that axe being, scythe being picked out there. The edges of the cape. Slowly coming out. I do quite a heavy dry brush, as that then helps us with our shading, or I think it does anyway. This is why I like to do it, because then you've got a lot of the shading pre-highlighted underneath, so when you put your colours on, they're going to have a slightly lighter colour underneath. Oh, we didn't let all the black dry. We got some grey going on. Okay, I'm going to stop that for a minute and see what's happened here. We've moved some black not dry paint into here. That was up in these crevices up in there, and yeah, we've ended up making a grey bit on the front. I'm going to stop there for a minute and let it dry again, and we can see it has appeared on our brush, which we don't want. So we've let this dry a bit more, and we're going to put another layer of dry brush on it. Oh my god, this camera is rubbish for doing this. So we're going to go in like that. Bring up some of the other details. That morning star. This brush is nice and soft though. It's kind of getting the nice even tone, not too scratchy. This is where we went wrong. This is where we got some greys, which we didn't want. This isn't the best setup for doing videos. I know. Now I can quite easily pick out the details. It's got these great looking details on the face here. And yeah, got some real high detail on this guy. On this ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. I think we're going to work on the... Oh, I don't know. I think the cloaks first. Yeah, cloaks are fun. So we have got a bit of Nargoth Knight. That's what we're going to put on her cape. This one tends to be pretty good coverage, but again, it's Games Workshop, so it is gloopy. So we're going to take some, put some on here. Yeah. Good little bit of water next to it. Got quite a bit on my brush there. It's probably going to be wet enough. Just with what I've got here. Bring a little in. And yeah, we'll begin just top down from here. Yeah, that's going on nicely. Yep, it does work quite well, this one. And if you notice when I go over those white edges that I've done with the highlight, we're already getting a bit of a highlight because my paint is nice and thin. And in the bits where it's dark in here, we're going to get shadow because it's shaded already by the fact of this initial dry brushing. Obviously we're going to add some more highlight and washes probably to it to increase the depth of colour, or the depth of change moreover. That will give us some more I'll just make the model look nicer. Just running the edge of my brush along. I'm going to paint in these top bits a lot later on. What else we got? I'm going to get a bit more water. Sometimes you can thin paint too much, obviously, and then you get a big wet splash, and you don't want that. Or it runs down your model. And that sucks. That sucks so much. So what I did next is I got some spaceship exterior. Yeah, and a little bit more of Abaddon Black, and mixed it with some Nargoth Knight to create a highlight. But I wanted it to be grey. I didn't want it to just be a lighter version of this purple. I wanted to add to make it look old and kind of faded a bit, so that the richness of the fabrics is kind of faded off. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of going for. I'm going to build up now like bits of grey, so I'm going to build more grey in and add just more tones of grey on there, just to kind of give it some layers. So just going to take that and put it on the upper bits here. I'm just going like edge highlighting at the moment and picking out the higher bits here, and then we might make a glaze up, a wash to go over the top to give that blend in, a bit more of a blend really. That bit there needs picking up, there we go. And inside is the same, but trying to keep it a bit darker. Just picking out these very nice edges here. So the next thing I did was I made up a black wash, and then I've stippled black up to create the impression of like holes and stuff. Done that under here and inside the cloak, and then when you pull back you get this kind of cool fade thing going on. It'll look better in the daylight I think, but it looks really cool now. Kind of looks like old and tattered. I might do some like light ones at the top to give it more texture. So here we have the next stages. I have applied a grey, starship grey to the hair to carry on that toning that I brought out of the cloaks, this kind of greyish purpley stuff. I think I might need to wash that with a light grey. And then I've washed it again with that purple. I'm going to keep quite a neutral dark colour palette to her. Yeah, it's looking really cool so far. I like it. So that is one Ewing's painting. Black, then purple cloaks, grey hair, purple wash, highlights and washes on the cloak. Next stages will be the skin, and then the fine details of teeths, and she wears a crown, and we'll get those filled in and then highlighted and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's for the next video, next bit of the video. Day 2, and we're back at it with the Litch Beach. And she's going to be a bitch to kill. Stop saying So let me tell you what we did yesterday. Recap. So yesterday we did a base coat in black. We did a light soft dry brush top to bottom to pick out all those features. We then did a purple cloak and then dark washed it, and then highlight blended it with a mix of purple and grey to add to this kind of dusty look. It actually looks more purple on this camera. Then we painted her hair grey and washed it with a purple to emphasise that purple coming out of the cloak. What we're going to do now is we're going to just drop some highlights on that top. If you look here on the hair, we've got some blobs which I'm not happy about of paint, and we're going to clean those up with adding some layers. So next what I did was I got some white on those top bits there and neatened up the highlights on this purpley grey hair. Can you see this? This is such a bad light for this. And then what I've done now is I started base coating the flesh in Warpstone Glow. I started basing the flesh in Warpstone Glow, and then I'm going to apply layers of this, maybe mixed with a bit of this, a bit of this, and a bit of this. This is Himmelblau. So I've done some new bits. We've done the green, which was Warpstone Glow as a base. Then we stuck this one over the top, which is Himablau paint by Aquacolor, and it's gone on really nicely, as you can see. Set really good. Then we've added some War Paints Pure Red to this front like skirt bit. It hasn't gone on well, it's streaked, so put it on thin and we'll put another coat on in a second. Next we're going to highlight the face and the arms. So I did finally finish this miniature, and we did some things like painting the silver in, and we did that with lead belcher, highlighted with shining silver from War Paints, used the leather browns and a bit of flesh wash to shade the bags. We also dropped a big heavy shade in on the sort of skirt bit that runs in between. Left the Morning Star pretty much black with just this kind of big gold head, and with the sides just did them black and just did the edges with a little white highlight, and I was pretty chuffed with that. That was a good paint sesh. Oh, and dropped a shade in her face. I couldn't quite get the eyes on this one because I'm not that good of painting, but I'm quite pleased with how she came out. She looks great, and for £2.50's worth of mini, she's great. She's going to make a great accompaniment to the shelf. You can live right there, next to that pesky sorcerer who was sneaking in the last video. There he is. Right there. Hey, what's cooking, good lookins? Whoop, what a lovely little case of minis. Oh yeah, and you guys too.